Alright guys, today we're working on a 2018 Ford Raptor Roush Edition. We're gonna be putting a front pads and rotors and rear pads and rotors. We're gonna be putting, a few things. Sorry, I'm just a little early today, but let's get to it. Let me show you what we got. Alright, so zoom out a little bit here. Those are the front rotors. And then we have pads and rotors with both ceramics. They're R1 concepts. Really good stuff going on this Raptor. And then if you guys want to watch, check out the other video. We're going to be installing this fog lights still. So stay tuned and let's get it. We're removing the front wheel. We're going to do a wheel at a time just to be safe. Since we don't have a lift or anything like that right now. So we're going to remove the tire and dispose the rotor and stuff. So we will have 6 lug nuts. All right, so the wheel's removed. Now we expose the caliper. I don't know why Ford didn't just put some nice 4-piston calipers on these, like all the TRDs and all the the Tundras that come with the 4 pistons. Disappointment, but that's to upgrade, right? This got upgraded suspension. It's the Roush. This is the Roush edition, so this is why it has all these extra stuff. Really nice, really nice setups. So let's get it. Let's take off the caliper, the bracket, and then our front or our rotor. Let's get it. All right, so these 2 caliper bolts are pretty tight. I think my wrench is about to break too. So let's hope it. Yep, my wrench broke. But I still took it off. Tools break, guys, so. Alright, so we removed those 2 bolts. Now this thing should slide out. Set it on here. Take off the pads. They're pretty tight. We check the sliders, see if they still work. See if they are still good. Now we gotta remove these 2 bolts here. This one and this one. Dude, this is gonna be rough. Let's see. Okay, not too bad. Nice. Done or not done, fine. It's either one. This is. Got it out. And now we gotta knock out our rotor. I usually hit it from here or I tap it from the front. So let's get it. Now let's see if it comes out. It's coming. It's coming. It's out. Boom. It's all rusted. So now gotta clean all this up and put the new rotor in, lube everything up, and then continue with the rest. Okay, so now we're gonna clean the surface like I said, so it can be flat now. it's off. With the hardware kit. Okay, we need hardware kit. So that's what we're going to be installing. Alright, so this one says L. The last letter is L, that's for the left, and then the other one, which was this one, was R, which is for right. So you want to make sure you don't confuse those, because if you do, the brakes will not work properly, and they'll make noise, and the warranty be voided, and all that kind of stuff. So make sure all that's put on correctly, sir. Alright guys, so we're gonna put the right side on. It should just go in just smooth, just like that, boom. And then we're gonna lubricate the slides with some grease where the pads have contact, so that, you know, doesn't get corroded. So you want to put some grease on there, and then we're gonna do the slides once everything's on. Put in the 2 bolts to hold this. Can't find a hole. There it is. The hole. From this side, so they come out like that without that boot. And what you want to do is take some grease and just rub it on there. Rub on some grease and lubricate it. That's all in there, so they pop out. So if you see they return, if you have grease in there, and that's what you want. You want those things to return. Get all the air out. This one's overfilled a little bit, so getting the grease out, and just clean that off with a rag. Clean that off. And now we're gonna install the brake pads. So we already lubed up where they're gonna be mounted to, so there's no problems. There we go. They have good movement here. That's what you want. You don't want them really tight, but you want them snug, you know. And there you want to have that feeling that you can still move the pad, because it's a function part of the brake system, and if it doesn't move freely, then you mess up everything. So, and then that, you see how smooth it goes, you can move it all around. So now, you're gonna put getting all goofed up over here. We're gonna put grease on the back of these, on both pads here, and that's to just quiet down the pad, you know, when the brakes are applied. Now I gotta go push back the caliper here. I gotta go that pushed it back. Good. So both pistons are pushed back right in there. Before they weren't pushing a little bit. So now we just gotta slide them in here. And make sure all this stuff goes in. Do 13mm bolts on here. Damn.
Take your time, guys. Always take your time. You know? Time is everything. And we're gonna just tighten it up. Make sure that's tight. Done. And that's how it should look once it's all done with the new rotors. So now let's get the other side done and get the backs done slowly. I'm actually gonna
All right, moving on to the back. Still don't have lights in here, but it's okay. We don't have lights, but we're gonna work. We got this light right here, boy. So I'm gonna remove the tire and show you and dispose the brake caliper. So I'm gonna fast forward to that. All right, this thing was all seized in there, so I had to spray it down with some PB Blaster and soak it up for a few minutes. Then I was able to get it. And it came out. Yeah, this thing was all corroded in there. Well, it's out now, so let's get this brake job on the road. So let me show you guys. So this is how that looks. And same thing, 213s. One there. Take those off. And then they got the, I think there's a 19s over here. We'll find out. So same process as the front. Take all this stuff out. All right, so what you want to do, you want to put a screwdriver in between here and pry until it comes all the way out and compresses. And then you set that to the side. Over here. These things are pretty big. So, old pads. This one's not cooperating, so you should take hammer. Boom. Comes right out. Or you can take it off when you take off the bracket. That's that. And let me find out what size this is. This is an 18 and it's very tight, so be careful. This job is tight. It's 18.
So this is the problem we run into sometimes when we don't use our cars. Some parts of it gets rusted, but this is fine. This is still good. It's just the fact that, you know, this is rusted and stuff. So let's install let's clean this up a little bit, get the new rotor and install it, put everything back together, and then do this same thing to the other side. And we will fast forward that. All right, so we're gonna clean this off. Remember guys, there's an R and an L at the end of the numbers for 18s. Careful not to touch the sliders on this because we already put the grease in there. Install the tool by hand in the back. You can get a gun or impact wrench or whatever you want to do. Grab them in there real quick. Once they're in there, go back with a manual wrench and just make sure they're snug. Get towards down. Now, once that's done, you get your brake pads. Brake pads out, and you slide them on. And your new slides that you just slide in. This is how they slide in, guys. So you just push back right there, and it goes in like that. And then the same thing here. It's hard to do with one hand, but let's see if we can get a better look. So make sure they're all the way down, and they go in right away. Now let's compress the caliper a little more using the old pad, and we're gonna put it on here just like that, and we're gonna use our tool here, and we're gonna pretty much press it in there. And squeeze it in, and then get that up there. And then once you did that, make sure you lube up the front of the pad where it touches the caliper and it pushes out. Make sure you put some grease back there for noise reduction. And then install your caliper. So that's all done, and that's how you do brakes on the rear brakes on a Raptor. So it takes a little bit of time because these trucks are heavy and everything, you know, Jersey rusters and stuff. So, but we got it done. So now let's do the other side and get this truck out of here.
All right, she's all back together. Everything came out really, really good. So now we're gonna push the brakes. Whenever you're done doing brake job, always push the brakes first until you feel it hard. Because what you did when you push back those piston on the calipers, you push back the fluid back to the reservoir. So that's why they say not to fill up the brake reservoirs, due to that fact that when you push back the calipers, it'll push out all the fluid out if you fill it up. So that's something to keep in mind. Hope this video helped you change the brakes on your Raptor. And you know, it's a tough job. So just letting you guys know. Please like, subscribe, and follow. Thank you.